This is a Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today I want to talk about the happiness advantage. Now I'm going to talk about it in my own terms. It is a book written by Shawn Achor, so I'm not stealing his title. It's his. I haven't read the book, but the concept is absolutely clear. And that is that the more happy you are, the more successful you're going to be. Which means that it's not success first and then happiness will be there. It's being happy and then success will happen. Does that make sense? So how does that work in practical terms? Because in some ways, the fact that you haven't achieved your goal yet in some ways makes you unhappy. But it shouldn't, because the fact that you're even thinking about any form of achievement or future goal that you're going to accomplish that's outside of your reach and comfort zone, that alone should make you happy because you're progressing towards it, okay? Which means that every single thing that you do, as long as you're focused, as long as you're disciplined, as long as you're applying masculine traits and attributes towards the journey, towards your dreams and goals, that goal is going to happen. Okay, now, of course, we've got to be, somewhat reasonable, but I love setting unreasonable goals for yourself. As long as you've got the right time perspective, anything is possible. Absolutely anything. Because you got to understand, there's one quote by John D. Rockefeller where he says that I'd rather make 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. Meaning, you can accomplish anything if you've got enough of the right people on your team to accomplish it. If it's only you, probably you'll never achieve those massive dreams and goals. But if you put together a massive team of amazing people, then you're going to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. Which means that you've got to actually be working on your leadership skills. Okay, what do we know about leadership? What do we know about leading others? Well, guess what? People follow people who have what they want. So if people see that you have something that they want, that they desire, they will naturally flow towards you and be fired up about coming closer to you, okay? People flow towards those people who have what they desire. And you want to become the person who attracts people to them because those people want what you want. And the one thing that people are struggling the hardest with achieving is being happy. The fact is, when you're happy and constantly positive all of the time, you are naturally attracting people to you and they want to support you and help you build your brand and basically serve you because they know that if they help you, you will also help them. And the fact is, you're happy, you're excited, so they want to be around you. No one wants to be around a grumpy guy who doesn't know what he's doing. And if you're not happy, you obviously don't know what you're doing. Does that make sense? So the happiness advantage basically is you taking control over your emotions. We spoke about in the last video about procrastinating romantic relationships with women as much as possible. Completely get rid of it for a short temporary period of time because that allows you to tap into that happiness advantage in so many ways. The biggest way, obviously, is practicing semen retention and not having women in your life at all. And that comes from simply allowing your reproductive system to work on its own for 90 days without you wasting your seed. When you allow that to happen, you are actually producing happiness hormones in your body that naturally are constantly there and that, like, other people don't know what it is about you, but you just have this personal social magnetism that draws people to you when you do that. And that is something that is really, really difficult for you to achieve if you're having casual sex with women, or if you're romantically involved with the woman that you don't really want to commit yourself for life with. So that's what I'm saying about the happiness advantage. Number one is completely get rid of any romantic relationship in your life for a short period of time until you've achieved certain financial goals. Number two, in terms of your happiness advantage, it is studying other successful people. Basically drawing yourself nearer and closer to mentors and coaches that have been there, done that, and that can help you to move closer to your goal automatically. That's what's so cool about hanging around the right people, is because they drive you and draw you towards your dreams and goals automatically. It happens all on its own without you even having to think. That's the cool part about having mentors and coaches, because it just happens. You just talk to them and then they come with their input into your brain, and suddenly that input becomes your output. It becomes what you think about. It becomes the solution to your problems. Everything starts working. You've gotten the romantic relationships out of your life, and you've managed to get mentors and coaches that help you to super speed and propel towards your dreams and goals. That is a happiness advantage. And guess what? Those coaches and mentors will actually want to work with you because you're fired up and pumped and happy all of the time. Okay, the more grumpy and depressed and difficult it is for you to actually do the things that they asked you to do, the more they don't even want to work with you, right? Sometimes you need a coach to kind of get you into the right mindset and mode. Okay, so in the beginning, you might be a depressed guy, but if you work with that guy, you follow his counsel, man, over time, you're going to become fired up and positive. Just look at Luista, man. He's fired up outside his brain right now, one of my clients, for what's happening in his life. And sometimes he gets down, right? But I pick him right back up, and then he's fired up outside of his brain for a few more days until I pick him up again. That's how it is. That's how it is to be a coach and a mentor. But that is a happiness advantage that you can tap into. And don't forget the part of reading books. If you don't have a mentor or coach, or you can't afford it right now, it's ridiculous to not be able to afford me. But if you can't, read books. You've got to read the best books of the world, because that's going to put you into the happiness advantage. Because those guys who wrote those books, they spend weeks and months and sometimes years writing those books, making them perfect. And every single time that these classics have been written, they have been written in a positive light. They would never want to put anything negative in those books, any doubt or disbelief or issues in those books that you can't use to solve your own problems. There's only positivity there, and that's why people should be reading books a lot more than they're doing, because sometimes you're just massively surrounded by negative people, and if you are, then books and YouTube is the only thing that you've got. And that's what you should be dedicating your time towards until your brain becomes pure. If your brain is a glass of water and you've been poisoned all of your life with small drips of poison every single day, ever since you were a child, your mother says, well, you're horrible and you're stupid, or whatever it is that happened in your childhood and your teenage years where people were kind of attacking you from all sides. All those things is poison, disbelief. Every time that you failed at something, every time that you've done something awkward or stupid, or someone, teased you or whatever it is, it was poison in there, right? And that has become basically your brain, and because of that negativity and that poison is in there, that's what comes out, and that's what it comes out as behavior in your life. And that's where you get your results from. How is the only way to purify this water? Okay, you can't pour it out because it's never going to get out. You can't. It's impossible. What's put inside your brain is going to stay forever. Okay, you can't change it. So what you want to do is you want to take that glass of water, your brain, and you want to put new drops of pure, clean, positive happiness thoughts and input into your brain at the same time as you cut down on the negative stuff. Guess what? That glass eventually will overflow, the poison will be diluted, and it's just gonna be clear as day and water that anybody can drink, and they'll love to drink it because it's fantastic to the soul. Do you understand? That's the point I want you to get. That's a happiness advantage, and that's what you can get from mentors, coaches, and books. Another advantage, a happiness advantage that you can put into your life, and kind of goes together with number 2 here, is to look at the people around you, okay? Your friends. Birds of a feather flock together, which basically means that the 5 closest friends or people that you invest time with, you're going to be their average, always. So if, you know, the 5 people that you spend most time with have salaries of $15 an hour or $10 an hour, or, you know, whatever income it is, $10,000, $20,000 a year, then that's what's going to be your income. You're going to be their average. That's how it is. You're going to walk like them. You're going to have the same clothes as them. You're going to speak the same language as them. You're going to, and I'm not talking about necessarily language. I'm talking about just the way you talk. You're going to think about the same solutions to the same problems. Basically, you're going to have the same exact life as they do. So what is the solution here? If you're thinking about that glass of water again, is it to just simply call up your friends and say, I'm not going to be your friend anymore? Obviously not. What you're going to do, however, is you're going to reach out to find new friends at the same time as you take care of the friends that you've already got. Okay, you need to create a different environment for yourself so that you can tap into the happiness advantage. You can't be the only happy one in a group of depressed people. You're not going to be able to drag them up. You need to be in an environment where you're being sucked up and dragged up towards happiness and excitement and being fired up outside your brain all of the time, right? So you need new friends, you need new people that you can talk to that fire you up, that gives you the energy boost. Life is too short to not get excited, to not have excited people around you, and for you to not be happy. Especially when you need the happiness advantage in order to succeed and to achieve your dreams and goals. The biggest aspect of the happiness advantage is the fact that you're simply happy on your journey towards your dreams and goals. There's nothing better than that, because at the end of the day, even if it takes 20 years to achieve your goals, even if it takes 30, 40, 50 years, it doesn't matter. You've had joy, happiness, excitement, passion throughout the entire journey because you've had and practiced the happiness advantage in your life with the right people around you. That's what life is all about. No matter what happens, you always have the right people around you, but you have to choose to be the right person first so that you can attract those right people into your life, and it solves everything. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Make sure you tap into the happiness advantage today. I'll see you again in the next one.